Welcome back. The big story today is RBI monetary policy that pushed the markets to fresh all-time high levels of over 45,000 on the Sensex, while the Nifty went on to hit almost that 13,250 mark. Of course, we have seen a bit of a cooling off from that level, but nonetheless, it's still holding pretty strong with gains of about 0.8% on the benchmark indices. Let's quickly run you through all the key highlights of what came out of the policy meet. It's a status quo policy which has been announced this morning by the RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das. The Monetary Policy Committee has unanimously left the repo rate unchanged at 4% with an accommodative stance for this year and the next. The governor has highlighted that concerns of higher inflation constrain monetary policy, with the CPI now seen at 6.8% in the third quarter of FY21. GDP projections, however, have been raised, with a contraction now of 7.5% expected, as opposed to the earlier estimate of 9.5% contraction in FY21.
Well, those are the highlights. We'll get you more opinion and play out some of the important opinion that we've got on the policy a little later. But let's stick with stocks and markets for now. Jigar Mistry is co-founder of Buoyant Capital. He's joining us right now to take some questions. Jigar, it's a pleasure as always. Thanks very much. Ideas is what we want, Jigar, is what the viewers want. They don't know laggards anymore. Everything is done so well. So what now at these levels? So let's zone it down straight away to 3 or 4 ideas which you think still have potential.
Good afternoon, Prashant. See, essentially, what we need to see here is the fact that despite record flows, and despite the fact that the traps rates are continuing to be below the reverse repo rate, and in spite the inflation at 7.5% being higher than the 6.8% target, there's been a status quo policy, and essentially for the next 2 or 3 months, the things will continue as it is, and that would imply that your flows into India will continue, and they'll get essentially parked into real asset classes as we go along. In that time frame, see, the last time when we met on the channel, we had discussed that the top 2 or 3 stocks were garnering and leading to 70% rise in the index. But essentially, that has changed over the last 2 months. And I think those 2 themes that we discussed, one is the opening up theme, and the other part essentially is the performance of the small and mid cap over the larger cap, is a theme that we think will continue to play out over the course of the next few months as well. You want to sort of discuss the ideas essentially? See, ideas can be both from the large cap space as well as mid caps. But I think with what has transpired in the monetary policy today, the larger banks will continue to benefit disproportionately. Now, we've been talking about our key pick, ICICI Bank, for a while now. But I think that bank combined with the other larger banks like HDFC and SBI will continue to raise money at very, very low rates. Even somebody like an HDFC Limited or Bajaj Finance is now raising rates at something like 4% on the CB market. So I think they can still continue to lend at fairly high levels. The NIM should continue to stay at the elevated levels, and therefore these banks continue to be among our preferred picks. Among the other names, I think we did discuss a few themes in media space, a few themes in chemical space. So within media, both Sun TV is something that we have continued to like. We have recently getting more interested in Z as well. That is a classic opening trade because the advertisement rates had not, come up as fast as everything else. So that could continue to benefit.
Jigar, so with Sun TV and Z both, there have been sort of proponents for both these names. Z specifically, right? I mean, there was that quarter when the management came out, said we'll clean up things and we'll sort out governance, etc. The stock went up all the way to about 220, then fell back to 180. It's only now coming back to 200 plus kind of levels. Are you only getting bullish now, or you've owned the stock all the way from that quarter on, which is what, I mean, 3-4 months back, right?
No, so we have owned the stock back then also. We own the stock today also. What essentially happened is one of those City Cable accounts sort of got defaulted on their payments. I think over the course of next few months, internally we are prepared that they will have to discontinue services to City if that comes down to it. But I think that matter is now baked into what sort of valuations you are talking about. So incrementally, I think is as the ad revenues increase. In case of Sun TV, again they would have the IPL quarter, so that would continue to be better. So I think both those names should fairly benefit out of the recovery trade.
Jigar, morning. This is Rima here. The street has latched on to this entire recovery trade. You know, as things are normalizing, the economy is doing better than what was feared. There is hope of a COVID vaccine. You know, the street has latched on already. Now, stocks have already rallied quite a bit. I was looking at SpiceJet. It's moved up, what, nearly 190% from its 52-week low. For Indigo, the low was 771 in March, and now it's already at 1,700. And the same is applicable even for hotel names. Would you still look at any of these recovery plays, you know, stocks which were beaten down because they were directly impacted by COVID?
Hi, good afternoon, Rima. So you're right, but see, when you sort of extend the horizon and look at where the global global markets are, if you look at Russell 2000, right, it's just starting to turn around the corner. And the same is the case here. So when you look at small and mid cap outperformance vis-a-vis the large caps only over the last 3 or 4 months or so, then it looks like a big number. But when you take that, you know, and extend it to 3, 4, 5 years, I think they made a peak in Jan 2018, and they have considerably underperformed. And you know, I remember talking about a study that we have put up on the website where we had discussed that if you take a 17-year sort of rolling returns, then all the three indices are returning more or less similar numbers, right? 15.4% was pre-COVID on a CAGR basis. So over longer periods of time, if the business is good, then the business need to attract that valuation rather than large companies. Just, you know, somebody sent me at the data that Reliance accounted for 70% of all the mid-cap companies and 2 times all the small cap indices. Now, you know, what they have done is truly revolutionizing, but essentially a lot of those businesses are available at 6, 7, 8, 10 PE, which sort of doesn't really make sense looking at how strong they're growing, what their ROEs are. So we are big proponents that, you know, one particular style of investment, which is say just identifying a good company and keep buying those good companies irrespective of valuation, doesn't hold true for a very long period of time. It might hold true for a year, 2 years, but I think that rotation trade, be it, you know, value versus growth or capitalization differences, eventually catches up with a vengeance.
Jigar, we'll have to leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining in. We need to slip into a very short break on that note. We'll come back with more. Stay tuned.
Burger King India Limited.